Hey everyone, welcome to video 2. Let's talk nature. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about snake facts and behavior. So, let's start it up. Okay, so snakes are really fascinating. They're on every continent of this earth except for one, and that's Antarctica. And that's probably has to do with the cold, because snakes, they can't maintain their body temperature the way we can. Mammals can have an ability to maintain our body temperature, while snakes can't. They're reliant upon the sun, warm rocks, a nice warm body. They might like to cuddle up to you. That's how they maintain their body temperature. Also, there are 3,000 different species of snakes, and they're finding new ones all the time. That's a lot. And out of that, only 600 of them, only 600 species out of 3,000 species are poisonous. That's only a fourth. And yet that is one of the major issues we have with snakes, is that they're dangerous, they're poisonous, yet only a fourth of them are. And you can tell if a snake is poisonous by the shape of its head. Most snakes that are poisonous have a triangular shape to their head. Their glands, their salivary glands, is where they store the poison, and those that are poisonous have to store a lot of poison. So they will have their glands will be larger, so it will create a triangular shape to their head. So if you come across a snake and it has more of an oval shape or square shape, the chances are that they're not poisonous. So another thing that oftentimes people find strange, like uncomfortable about snakes, is their tongue, the flicking little tongue. Well, that tongue is how they smell. It's how they're able to tell if there's food nearby, but also if there's danger. So when they're flicking their tongue, they're just trying to breathe the air, in a sense, like we do. You know, when you breathe in and you can smell certain things, you know, oh, cookies, I smell cookies. Or, ooh, I smell burning like a fire. That's not okay. That's danger. Same thing for them. Now, for hunting, I believe they have extra bones in their jaw that allow their jaw to get really big, because they can't chew. Snakes can't chew. So they have to swallow their food whole. Imagine having a meal where you had to swallow all your food whole and not chew at once. That'd be uncomfortable, right? They also have these little holes in front of their eyes, or sometimes it's a little hole, or it can look like a little divot. What those little holes or divots do is that they sense warm-blooded prey, heat. They sense heat. And they have tons of interesting little things about them that are just really amazing, and they're incredibly shy. Almost all snakes, they're aggressive only when hunting. They're aggressive if they're scared. But other than that, they just want to be left alone. Consider that. How do you feel when someone's coming after you? Do you just want to be left alone? Do you just want to just hike the other way? Or sometimes do you find, gosh, I've got to face this, and you come out and you're like ready to go, which I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, but we all have times where we feel cornered, right? That's sort of the same thing with a snake. They don't attack unless they're hunting or if they feel cornered. So once a month, snakes shed their skin, and they do that for 2 reasons. One is they grow. And like you grow, you know, and you can no longer fit your clothes, well, it's the same for them. So they need that new skin to fit a new size, you know, to allow them to get bigger. The other is they need to get rid of little mites and lice, all these little pests that have attached themselves to them. Snakes can't groom the way a lot of mammals can, a lot of primates can, where primates oftentimes, you know, will go through each other's fur and pick out, the little pus. They don't do that as much. So they can't. So by shedding their skin, they can get rid of all of that. That is really, really cool. I mean, think about it for yourself. To just be able to like have a new skin, to get rid of all that old baggage, all that old stuff that's attached itself to you. You can just get rid of it once a month. Oh, that would be pretty amazing, right? Well, they can. The other thing is that they lay eggs most of the time. Not all the time. So most land snakes lay eggs. They're not very parental about it either. Most of the time they lay the eggs and they just take off, right? And when the babies come out, they're 100% ready to just live their life. They don't need to be trained or prepped the way we do oftentimes, or we do. But there's some species that actually stay with the eggs, and they coil around them and they keep them warm and they protect them until they hatch. But as I said, there are some that don't. And those are sea snakes. And yes, there are snakes in the sea, and they have live births. They don't have the ability to have eggs, because something will probably gobble them up. So they have live births. The other thing is that let's talk about the location a little bit of where snakes are. Like I said, they're really, really shy. I mean, sea snakes, which are the most poisonous of all the snakes, are also some of the shyest. And their fangs typically are a lot smaller than a lot of the land, a lot of the poisonous ones that are land. They're very small. So people who have been bitten by sea snakes probably got bitten because they either stepped on them or somehow they like went right up against them. On land, most snakes, they like crevices. They burrow. Again, they want to be left alone, unless they're warming themselves. And even if they're warming themselves, they do it in a way. They do it in places where they think there's no one around, and if they sense movement, because they can, one other fact is that the bone of their lower jaw can pick up vibration, really sensitive vibrations at that. If they sense that there's movement, they get out of the way. But there's also snakes that can fly. There's 5 species of snakes that can fly, and it's not exactly flying, it's more like gliding. But they're on treetops, and then they like come down, they'll glide. There's so many different, if there is a place where they can be, whether it be in the ground or in water or in trees, you will find snakes. And most of the time you won't even know that they're there. And then we've talked a little bit about their environment, that some of them that they're in, they're in the sea, they're in the air, they're on the treetops, they're in the ground. They're pretty much everywhere. Let's talk about your situation that you're in, or we're in, because I'm in it too. And things have really changed for us, right? I bet you there's a lot of you out there who used to hate going to school. Probably was like, oh God, I have to go to school, I really don't want to. And now you really wish you could. And even though you're virtually going to school with this whole new video thing, it's not the same as being able to be right next to your friends and to talk to people and to have that interaction. We're now pretty much isolated from one another. We're in our own personal little burrows. And those burrows, some of them, they might not be that bad, right? I mean, for some of you, you might be like, well, I've got my room, I've got some space. Others might be like, no, it's small. There's not any space. We're all on top of each other. Some of you might not have any siblings. Some of you might have a lot of siblings. You might be not just your siblings, but extended family. That might make things really tight. And some of you might really love it. Our personality oftentimes can really, I mean, it does. It impacts how we, our outlook, how we cope and deal. I'm a personality that I like a lot of time by myself, but I find that this is difficult for me. I have good days and I have bad days. I can't imagine for people who aren't like me and who need to have to have interaction with people and need to socialize a lot, how hard it must be on them. We're in a very different situation, and we all are trying to figure this out as we're going, because we're going to be in this probably for a little while. And our behavior, like snakes, right? There might be times where we sort of feel like our back, we can't escape, we can't get away, and we might at times feel like our back is against the wall, and we might strike out at times, and that makes sense in a lot of ways. It doesn't make it okay though, and because we are in the situation, we're going to be in our little tiny burrows for a while probably. It's probably a good thing to start figuring out, what is it, how do I cope with that? How do I deal with that so that I'm not, I don't always, I have better tools or better ways to handle when I'm feeling like I can't get away. Okay guys, so we're ready to talk about homework. Yeah, you got some homework, it's true. But this is good homework. Hopefully it helps to stimulate some curiosity and some interest moving forward, because like I said, what you're going to be doing in this homework, it is going to be the template for everything from here on out, everything that you're going to be creating. So this should be fun, and you should take it seriously. Like snakes aren't that superficial, right? Okay, you guys, you're gonna take a piece of paper and you're gonna fold it in half. And then you're gonna fold it one more time. All right, at this point, you're gonna open it. And then you're going to go ahead, you're gonna have 4 sections. With this 4 sections, you're going to put on one side, you're going to put snakes, and on the other side, you're going to put me. With that, you're going to put positive and negative. What I want you to do, you probably can already see where I'm going with this, is I first want you to start out with the negatives, and I want you to tell me with snakes, what do you not like about them? Bullet point it. Just put some words. If it's a sentence, that's fine, but know that this is going to be your template. Now, when you're done with that, with the negative section for snakes, I want you to come over and I want you to do the negative section for me. And I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I don't like about myself? Or what is it that I would like to improve upon with myself? Areas of improvement. When you're done with the negative, I want you then to go to the positive and talk about all the things that you like about snakes, and then all the things that you like about yourself. So some of you might have a hard time doing the me section. Some of you might find it's really hard for me to find good things about myself, or it's really hard to find bad things about myself. But I'm going to challenge you to try to do that. And a little bit, and please take it a little bit more seriously than you saying something like, I don't like my hair color, or, oh, I have this birthmark, I wish I didn't have it. Go a little bit deeper than just the physical attributes. Think about aspects in yourself that you may really wish that you could improve upon. Tendencies, behaviors. And same for the aspects you like about yourself. There are there are tons of things that we might really, really like about ourselves, but we're afraid to share. And please know, this is for you, and it's not for anyone else. But it's important for you to have an understanding of the things that you like about yourself and areas that you want to improve upon with yourself, so that in this time that we're in, and as we're building and when we're creating our snake skins and our snake masks, that you can make choices that really reflect and share what you really feel to everyone else, so that when they see what you've done with that, when they see the design, when they see the pattern that you've created, they'll know what's going on, because they will. All right, you guys, until next time, peace.